Once upon a time there was a mother pig and her 3 piglets. 3 brothers are the same height. Round, pink, with the same funny tails. All summer the pigs played in the green grass, basked in the sun, basked in the puddles. But then autumn came. One day my mother said that it was time for them to think about winter. She asked them to build a big house. The younger brother said that winter is still far away. The middle brother said that he would build his own house when needed. And the older brother decided to build the house himself. The younger and middle brothers did nothing but play their games. It got colder and colder every day. The younger brother decided to build a house out of straw. The middle brother thought it would be very cold in the thatched house in winter. He decided to build a house from twigs and twigs. By the evening their housing was ready. They were very proud of themselves and could not get enough of their buildings. Now they were free and could do whatever they wanted. They decided to go to their older brother and see what kind of house he had built for himself. The older brother was busy building. He applied stones, kneaded clay and slowly built himself a reliable, durable home. The younger brothers found their older brother at work. They were very surprised at what kind of fortress he was building. The elder brother calmly continued to work. The younger and middle brothers began to joke and laugh at his house. They were so amused that their screeching echoed far across the lawn. The elder brother asked to be quiet because the wolf could hear them. The younger and middle brothers were amused even more. They decided that the older brother was just a coward. And the 2 brave brothers went for a walk. On the way, they sang and danced, and when they entered the forest, they made such a noise that they woke up the wolf who was sleeping under the pine tree. The disgruntled and hungry wolf went to the place where the screeching of 2 stupid pigs came from. The brothers walked merrily and talked about how easily they would deal with the wolf. And suddenly they saw a real living wolf. He was standing behind a large tree. He had very evil eyes and a huge toothy mouth. The brothers were so frightened that their thin tails trembled finely. The wolf prepared to jump. He snapped his teeth and blinked his right eye. The pigs suddenly came to their senses and, screeching across the forest, rushed to run away. Raising clouds of dust, they rushed each to his own house. The younger brother ran to his thatched hut and slammed the door in front of the wolf. The wolf growled and demanded to open the door. The younger brother, out of fear, could not utter a word. Then the wolf began to blow. The light roof instantly flew off the thatched hut. The wolf took a deep breath and blew a second time, and the thatch house flew in all directions. The wolf was delighted, snapped his teeth, and pounced on his younger brother. But the pig deftly dodged and ran. He ran to the house of the middle brother. The brothers managed to lock themselves up and looked at each other in dismay. The wolf got angry and began to blow. The house is slightly askew. The wolf blew a second, then a third, then a fourth time. But the house was still standing. The wolf took a deep breath and blew for the 5th time. The house shook and fell apart. Only one door stood for some time in the middle of the ruins. In horror, the piglets rushed to the house of their elder brother. The wolf ran after them. He was sure that this time the pigs would not run away from him. The piglets quickly rushed past the large apple tree without even hitting it. And the wolf did not have time to turn and hit the apple tree, which covered him with apples. One hard apple hit him between the eyes. A big bump jumped on the wolf's forehead. At this time, the younger and middle brothers managed to run into the house of the older brother and bolt the door. The wolf ran to the door, growled and demanded to open the door. The younger brothers were very scared and could not say anything in return. And the elder brother knew that he and his brothers had nothing to fear in a solid stone house. Then the wolf sucked in more air and blew as soon as he could. But no matter how much it blew, not a single stone moved. And then he looked up and noticed a large, wide chimney on the roof. He carefully climbed onto the roof and began to go down the pipe. The pigs heard a rustle. The elder brother immediately guessed what was the matter. He quickly rushed to the cauldron in which water was boiling and tore off the lid. The wolf went down the pipe and fell straight into the cauldron. His eyes widened to his forehead. The scalded wolf flew out with a wild roar and rushed into the forest. And the three little pigs looked after him and were glad that they had so cleverly taught the evil robber a lesson. From that time on, the brothers and their mother began to live together under one roof. A long time ago, in the desert kingdom of Agrabah, there lived a poor guy Aladdin with his monkey Abu. To survive, he had to steal food from the market. But despite this, Aladdin was kind and honest, because he handed out everything stolen to starving children. One day, while walking through the city, Aladdin noticed how an apple merchant was threatening a young girl. She gave an apple to the child without asking, and now she had to pay. Seeing that the seller called the guards, Aladdin decided to save the girl. He took her hand and helped her hide. But the guards still caught up with the fugitives. And it turned out that the girl Aladdin saved was Princess Jasmine. The guards imprisoned the guy in a dungeon. That same night, the evil advisor of the Sultan Jafar made his way to his cell. He promised untold riches if Aladdin helped him get him a magic lamp from the Cave of Wonders. And Aladdin agreed. Jafar took the guy with the monkey to the cave, but in front of the entrance forbade him to touch anything except the lamp. In the cave, Aladdin found a magic carpet and a lamp. But Abu could not stand the prohibition and touched one of the rubies. The cave began to collapse. Then the magic carpet caught them and flew away to the ruins of the ruined castle. Aladdin looked for a long time at the lamp that he had brought with him from the Cave of Wonders. She was very dusty. When Aladdin wiped the lamp with his hand, Jinn burst out of it. He announced to Aladdin that he had been in the lamp for many years, and for his salvation he could fulfill any 3 wishes. Aladdin promised to use only 2 wishes, and the third to free Jinn from the lamp forever. Looking at the stars, Aladdin remembered the princess. He fell in love with Jasmine, but an ordinary thief could not impress the princess. Then Aladdin spent his first wish to become a prince. Arriving at the palace to the Sultan, Aladdin in the guise of a prince tried to win the heart of Jasmine. But the princess was adamant, because she had long fallen in love with the commoner who saved her at the bazaar. Meanwhile, Jafar noticed the false prince in the palace. The evil advisor tricked the guy into the tower, and with threats began to elicit where the magic lamp was. Receiving no answer, Jafar pushed him from the high tower into the sea. Suddenly, Abu flew in with a lamp on the rug, and Aladdin managed to rub it. Then Jinn appeared and saved them, thereby using the second wish. Back at the palace, Aladdin told the Sultan that Jafar is an evil wizard who is about to betray the kingdom. The Sultan arrested his advisor, but under cover of night the sorcerer managed to get out of the dungeon. He made his way into Aladdin's chambers and stole the lamp, becoming Jinn's new owner. Jafar spent his first desire to become a sultan. And with the second desire, he requested the power of the most powerful wizard in the world. Having received his, Jafar magically transported the guy with the monkey to the icy wasteland. And he decided to force Princess Jasmine to marry himself. While the wedding ceremony was going on, the magic carpet found out where Aladdin and Abu were, and then returned them to the castle. Seeing Jafar, Aladdin began to tease him, calling him the second in power after Jinn. Then an angry Jafar spent his last wish to become an almighty genie. Turning into a genie, Jafar suddenly became a slave to the lamp himself. Weakening, he promised Aladdin revenge. But before he could finish his curses, the lamp pulled him inside. Jinn carried Jafar's lamp to the Cave of Wonders, and order was restored to the kingdom. Aladdin decided to keep his promise, so he spent his third wish to free Jinn from the lamp forever. And the Sultan, who saw that Aladdin and Jasmine were in love, allowed them to get married. And they lived happily ever after, and the kingdom of Agrabah only prospered over the years.